Hi, so my name is Janna Adelstein, and I worked on the Tracing the Movement of Populations project with Jason Schultz on the United States portion. So from the birth of the United States to the modern times, many living on American soil migrated across the country, either by force or in seeking of better opportunities. Tracing the Movement of Populations, American Legacies of Expansion and Removal, uses materials from Vanderbilt's special collections to explore these narratives. We focus on three major aspects of migration, first looking at the long removal of Native Americans from ancestral lands, then looking at Tennesseans who migrated to Texas, and lastly looking at Japanese Americans facing internment in Topaz, Utah during World War II. Competing legacies of freedom, equality, and opportunity run through the exhibit. So the first and largest piece of our exhibit focuses on the long Native American removal as a century-long project from prior to the American Revolution through the Trail of Tears and beyond. So we focus on two major parts of this removal, first looking at the narratives of US government officials and white people who sought to expand Native American removal, such as Andrew Jackson, who was a champion of this project. We also have a letter from George Washington, and so we're looking at the United States government's part in enforcing this removal. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, we looked at the Native Americans who faced this persecution, looking at their migration patterns and also looking at objects and letters and internal correspondence. So we looked at four different Native American nations: the Cherokees, the Chickasaw, and the Creeks and the Choctaws. So the next section of our exhibit focuses on Tennesseans moving to Texas. So this part is very different than the other two because it's not a tale of forced migration, rather something that was pursued in hope of better opportunities. So people of all walks of life moved from Tennessee to Texas to engage in the cotton trade, and as a result, there was an expansion and a higher use of enslaved labor. So we looked at major figures such as Sam Houston, the father of the Texas Republic, and Colonel Crockett, whose adventures are a staple in learning about the early Texas Republic as well. And then we also looked at letters from the Howell Tatum Davis collection, which is unique to our special archives. So the last major portion of our exhibit focuses on Japanese Americans moving interned in Topaz, Utah during World War II. So this skips ahead to the 20th century, showing how legacies of expansion weren't just limited to early American pursuits. So in this exhibit, we looked at those who fought against oppression via cultural expression, so through the publication of literary magazines such as Trek, shown on the left, and also through pursuing visual arts and things like that. And then lastly, we looked at people from the outside who fought against internment and advocated for Japanese Americans, such as the Fellowship of Reconciliation, who published the pamphlet Outcasts to advocate for their rights. So these are some images from when we were setting up the slides. Oh, sorry. But now they're partly installed, so you can go see them. And so what I took away from this experience was not only the ability to use these important and very old archives, but also, more importantly, the experience of using and bringing to light the materials from this rich collection, especially for the Native American materials that haven't received a lot of publicity. And so by putting these on display and also digitizing them, we make these local Tennessee resources more accessible to a broader audience and continue to spread the legacy of this history. And so that's what I got from this. And so thank you for this opportunity.